Welcome back to the TNT show, where we're continuing our NFL division offseason breakdown series. Before we get into our wheel spin, we're going to go ahead and kick it off with our question. So, my question for you today is, here's a scenario. Your life is on the line, and you have to choose a quarterback to lead a 99-yard game-winning drive, and you have two choices. Zach Wilson or Jamarcus Russell? Who you taking?
D, none of the above.
You got to pick one.
Who's my team?
Uh, mm, let's just say you have a
Am I loaded?
no. You're not loaded. You're just average at best.
Can I have like a good wide receiver?
No, everybody's average at best. You work with what you work with.
Oh my god. Um God. I don't even know. Uh
Just got to pick one.
Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell. Okay. I mean, if it were me, because they're both really bad. I'd probably say Zach Wilson just because he's had he's had his flashes of. He went toe to toe with Patrick Mahomes. So I
Yeah,
mean,
but he throws way he turns the ball over a lot.
I mean, it's a 50-50 at that point because they both pretty bad, and you got an average team, so you never
I
really
must
know.
say, yeah.
Mm, yeah, I'd probably say Zach Wilson, but also before we get into the wheel spin, we starting our road to 100 subscribers, so make sure y'all like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Road to 100 subscribers, and we'll try to cook up something that we can do when we reach that milestone. So let's go ahead and get this wheel spin going. All right, so we got the AFC West, which consists of the Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, and Chiefs. So we'll go ahead and kick it off with the Super Bowl champions, the Chiefs. Tyler, I'll go ahead
Yeah.
and let you
They
roll it
got
off.
a they got a lot of stuff going on in Kansas City right now. They just it's like one thing after another with them. It's pouring in KC right now.
Yeah.
You got Rasheed Rice doing whatever he's out doing. You got two arrests on a potential starting offensive lineman and another. I think he was a rookie. You got the whole Harrison Bucker situation going on.
Yeah.
You got people getting hurt in OTAs, but you have Patrick Mahomes, so I think everything's going to be fine with that. Um, I think the biggest question for them is, they have the possibility to three-peat this year, and I don't know if anybody's ever done that, or
Um,
if
I
they
mean,
have,
I
it's been a really
recall.
long time. I don't think anybody ever has. Maybe back in the day, but not in like a modern era type thing. Yeah, it's back to back maybe, but they have the opportunity to three-peat. I mean, I said last year that I didn't think Kansas City was going to get it done, and look at them. They won the Super Bowl with pretty much nothing, if we're being honest. I mean, they have Travis Kelce. He's probably one of the greatest tight ends to ever play. So as long as he
Hey, look,
has him,
as long as you got Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, so far that's all they really needed. And well, besides Tyreek Hill, of course, but he gone now. So I mean,
Right. They brought in a few guys. I think a big question mark is Rasheed Rice going to play? Like, is he going to get suspended? Is What are they going to do with that situation? How are they going to handle that?
yeah.
What do you think? Do
Um,
you think he should get to play or?
I think he should be suspended for at least, I'd say at least a year. Because yeah, I mean, nobody really got like seriously injured.
Yeah, I
So
think I think they should hold these players to the standard like anybody else would get held. I mean, if me or you done that, we'd probably still be in jail or in
well, I
trouble,
mean,
or whatever the case may be.
you would think a lot of the younger players would learn from that Henry Ruggs situation, which obviously I know it's his was way worse, but still, you shouldn't be out there driving a rented car at that, and you got somebody else driving your car. Y'all doing like way far above what the legal speed limit is. So, I mean, that right there
Yeah,
is just
that's for
asking
sure.
for because the guy who was in his car got kicked off the team because I know he's still in college. He got kicked off the team.
Yep. Sometimes money will make you go a little crazy. We see it a lot,
Yeah.
unfortunately. I,
Um.
I think. I mean, they brought in Xavier Worthy, which they said, he's has a hamstring injury, so that can linger on for depending on how severe it is.
That is true.
That can linger for, I mean, his whole career. Honestly, you see people getting hamstring injuries and they miss a week here, miss a couple weeks here. I
Yeah,
mean,
they wide receiver room is definitely in a bit of a situation. Like I mean, you brought in Marquise Brown, you drafted Xavier Worthy. Um, Rasheed Rice is in trouble. Other than that, I don't know who they have to. Well, I mean, you got obviously McCole, so I don't know. I don't know how that whole group is going. I guess go together right now because it's really all speed. There's no like Xavier Worthy probably has the best like blend of size and speed, and then you got Rasheed Rice who's like he's like a bigger guy, and Marquise Brown he's kind of like another. He's not Tyreek Hill, but he has the same like build, not build because he's smaller, but he has good speed.
yeah, I'm
Just
looking. I'm looking at their roster right now, and I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know who any of these people are.
yeah, but hey, like I
They're
said, as
all
long as you got
young.
Patrick Mahomes, as long as you got Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey, it don't even matter. Oh, I forgot they got Sky Moore. I forgot about him.
Yeah, but I think he's more of the return guy, which I
Hey,
mean you can put in wide receiver. But it's like you said the other day. At what point are they going to have to go to Patrick Mahomes and be like, look? But they're getting the job done. But at what point are you going to be like, all right, when they start struggling, he's fixing to start getting into that 40, $50 million range himself.
yeah, I mean the biggest question is because if you think about it, Travis Kelsey, you don't know how much he got left in the tank. Once
Yeah,
he's
that
gone, you gonna need another like superstar playmaker. So if you making all that money, you're not gonna be able to bring in a superstar playmaker because they can't pay you and whoever you bring
right because I think a lot of their money is tied up on the defensive side. I know they just gave Chris Jones a massive deal.
in. Yeah. Now I know you were talking about that three-peat. Can they do it? I don't know, but as far as odds go, um, they have the second best odds to win the Super Bowl. So they got a shot. I think it just like I said, it depends on that wide receiver group and is their defense going to continue to play at that elite level. So those two things, I mean, I think if they can get that situated, they definitely got a shot. I mean, as long as Patrick Mahomes makes it to the playoffs, he has a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, because I mean, they have a pretty good run game. So that helps. But say Travis Kelsey got hurt, I thought they'd be in trouble because that one game that he didn't play, they looked horrendous. They were bad. That just
Yeah.
shows the impact that he makes for that team. Which it was one game. It was just one game. So I really wouldn't be too concerned because his health has never really played a factor.
Yeah.
But he is getting older though. I know they lost some offensive linemen. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's kind of turning into that Brady Grunt kind of situation.
Yeah, I think. Well, see, with the Patriots, they also had Julian Edelman, and they had a really good defense and a solid run game. So I feel like as long as Kansas City can find, they got to be able to find somebody that can catch the ball.
See, they remind me a lot of the those 2010s Patriots teams because they got, I mean, Kelsey is basically, another grunt. Well, not another grunt, but you get what I'm saying. You got an all
Yeah,
time great quarterback. You got not necessarily the best receivers in the game, but you got guys who can get the job done.
yeah, because they're at the beginning, they were. If they didn't have Kelsey, I don't think they would have went to the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously, but because just it's like he's just uncovered every time.
Yeah, and then I mean, they run game is actually pretty decent with what Pacheco.
Yeah, Pacheco and Clyde, which Clyde got hurt. Pacheco stepped in, and now he's the starting running back. Which they brought Clyde Edwards-Helaire back. Which I mean, he was probably like, "Look, I'll take the minimum." I mean, you're on a Super Bowl winning team. I mean, he could probably go somewhere else and probably make some money, but I mean, why leave a good organization that's competing at high levels every
What?
single year for money? But like you said, they brought in Hollywood Brown. They brought in Irv Smith. I don't really know why they did that. I don't know if they did that for insurance on Kelsey or because they have a decent amount of tight ends, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because they have Noah Gray, and he plays pretty well alongside Kelsey. But
Mm,
I think Irv Smith is a better run blocker, so that might be why, in case they do gotta start running the ball. So
mm,
I don't know. I think just like you said, I think they're gonna be fine. I think they're just gonna have to figure some stuff out, look into, you know, maybe Patrick Mahomes making some contract adjustments so they can get him an all-star receiver, which he signed. He may not care because he signed a 10-year, but what $500 million. If I
yeah.
was him, I mean, you already have three Super Bowls. You already have the MVPs. As selfish as it would sound, I probably wouldn't do it.
What restructured?
Probably not because you already have three rings. That's more than some of the goats already have. Some of the greatest people consider the greatest of all time. He already has more than them. He has more than Aaron Rodgers, and he has more than most Hall of Famers do.
Yeah.
He has the MVPs. He has the Super Bowl MVPs. Yeah, I wouldn't give me my money.
Nah, I would, because that would, I don't know, because it could affect the ability to win more, but at the same time, it might not.
Yeah, I would just have to wait and see what happened if I was him. But okay, now we can talk about it.
Yeah,
because he could just take all that money and put it towards the end.
yeah, that'd be smarter. I mean,
I mean, he's signed 10 years. It's
plus
not
you
like
got to
he's
think
going anywhere.
he got endorsements and stuff too. I mean, he's the State Farm guy now, basically.
Yeah. So that, and we don't live in KC, so we don't really see what else he's doing.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the Las Vegas Raiders. I almost called them Oakland. The Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know what they're doing.
I just think they got put.
Their draft imploded when Atlanta took Michael Penix. It was like they just didn't know what to do. They're like, all right,
Well,
well,
I mean, by
best
the time they
available,
got
just
to the
send them to them.
yeah, by the time they got to their pick, they didn't really have a quarterback that they felt good about. So they just took the best available.
Yeah, they
Um,
drafted Brock Bowers. I mean, that's a great addition, but you got to have somebody to throw him the ball. It's either
I
going to
got
be Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew gonna win MVP this season.
No, that's like me saying last week that Josh Allen wasn't a top 10 quarterback.
So he is a top 10 quarterback.
No, but Gardner Minshew is not going to win MVP. I can promise you that.
You never know. Case Keenum had that crazy season with the Vikings in what, like 20, whatever year it was. I think it might have been
No,
2018. I think it was 2018.
I mean,
And they made that run all the way to the NFC Championship and met the Eagles. Not Eagles. They met the Falcons and got clapped.
I think their biggest question mark is going to be that quarterback situation. Are they just, obviously they're probably going to ride. I think they're going to make a huge move in free agency. I think they're going to try and get somebody.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a lot of quarterbacks available, yeah.
The thing I want to see is what Devonte Adams has to say. Like, yes, he's old. He's been in the league for a minute. He's getting older. I don't know how much say he's got, but if his production starts dipping, I think he's going to demand a trade because he's done it once. They just paid him.
Yeah, but I think he requested that trade from the Packers because they didn't really want to pay him, which is what the Raiders did. They paid him.
I think they're going to have to do some stuff in free agency for them to be even remotely relevant. They might. I think they'll be okay, but they lost Josh Jacobs. That's a huge loss, to be honest, because he was kind of the heart and soul of their team, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think given in a I say a decent amount of time, maybe a couple of years, Zamir White is gonna be like the guy.
They brought in
Because
Alexander Madison.
Georgia produces some really good running backs.
They drafted a running back in the later rounds. I'm not even sure what this guy's name is. Dylan. I don't even know how you pronounce his last name, but wherever he came from, I don't know if he'll make the team or whatever.
Oh
But
yeah,
they,
don't even know the name.
I mean, they honestly they have a good team.
Yeah,
They have Jacoby Myers. They have Devontae Adams. They have Michael Gallup, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Madison, and White. I mean, realistically, they are a quarterback away from being decent.
yeah.
I thought they were
Realistically,
going to go after Mac Jones, but they didn't.
yeah. Now that you say that, they probably should have. They could have used him.
He would have probably been good in that offense because they got the running backs. He doesn't need to run around. He's got, I mean, was one of the greatest wide receivers in the league, and probably still is if he had a good quarterback. He just fell short going to the Raiders. He was good with Derek Carr, but Jimmy Garoppolo's not it. Now they don't even know who their starting quarterback's going to be.
Yeah,
So look
Jimmy
for a
Garoppolo
trade.
is.
Look for the trade for Devontae. I think that's going to be a. I think
You
they're
think
going to
it'll
trade
happen?
him. Yeah, because they're going to have if they get somebody, they're going to have to pay him in free agency unless you draft somebody. But I don't really know what hot quarterbacks are in college right now. I know this draft class was huge, but college, people have them 1 year wonders and just kind of shine.
Yeah, it's yeah. See, it's tough to say because it always depends on what the college season shapes up to be. Because there could be like kind of like with the whole Jaden Daniels thing, he wasn't even really on the radar like that, and then he turned himself into a number 2 pick. So
And Heisman winner at that.
uh, I
So
think
yeah, I think the Raiders are. I think they're going to be okay. They'll probably be bottom pack. They might be mid tier. It just depends because Gardner Minshew was. I mean, he played good at the Colts, played good in Jacksonville. So he's kind of going into a similar situation with the Raiders if he gets the starting job. They have a good team around him. They have a good defense.
yeah,
So I think they're going to be fine as far as I think they'll be okay till they can figure something out.
yeah, like you said,
I wouldn't be shocked if they came out and free agency somebody don't get paid, they throw somebody the just slide them a blank check and say what would it take?
they could go get Justin Fields.
No. He'll have a starting job in Pittsburgh by week 5.
You think Russell Wilson gonna fold?
Mike Tomlin's not gonna have a losing season. He ain't gonna let it happen.
Well, let's just say Russell Wilson is playing pretty good. I think it's a great option for the Raiders to go and get. I mean, Justin Fields would be great. I think for them,
Oh yeah. I don't know why anybody didn't try. I don't know if they did.
Pittsburgh probably wants to keep him because since he's still young, so
And
they know
yeah, he
Russell
can learn
Wilson.
behind Russell Wilson because they're kind of the same. They have the same attributes as quarterbacks. They both run. Justin Fields is just younger.
Yeah, but Russell Wilson's on the back end of his career too, though. So
Yeah, it seems like once you get traded, it's kind of end of your career. Um, anything else with the Raiders?
let me see what I got. Only thing I had for them was just a new offensive coordinator and a new head coach, obviously, which that's going to play a big role. So I think they probably don't win a bunch in the first season, but I think depending on how they make their moves in this upcoming season and the upcoming off season, I think they can kind of get back into relevancy.
I wouldn't be shocked if Miami didn't pay Tua because he's a free agent this year. I think they will, but if they don't, Oakland might.
Yeah.
They're definitely gonna call some teams. They're definitely gonna call some people for sure. Let's go ahead and move on to Denver. I'll let you start off with Denver.
Mm, I mean, the most obvious thing for Denver is they drafted Bo Nix. He's gonna be their quarterback unless Zach Wilson beats him out. Not saying he will, but they're gonna they're gonna battle for that starting spot more than likely.
For
Um,
sure.
Now it's Cortland Sutton, their receiver, their best receiver, has been in a lot of trade rumors, so that's really up in the air. I mean, they drafted
Troy
Bo Nix's
Franklin.
receiver,
Yeah, Troy
Troy
Franklin.
Franklin. So that's obvious chemistry between those two. So that would help Bo Nix out a lot. Yeah, Cortland Sutton, I think that would be a big blow for them, though. I mean, he's your best receiver. I mean, you already traded Jerry Jeudy to the Browns, which he was very up and down. Cortland Sutton's the most consistent. He just, I guess, they don't feel like he's going to be worth whatever his asking price is going to be. So yeah, his name's definitely been floating around. The offensive line still needs a lot of work, which
Honestly, the Broncos, they just need help everywhere. Offensively, defensively, they're kind of in
yeah,
a rebuild situation. They spent a lot of draft picks and money on John Payton, their head coach, and Russell Wilson. And we both know how the Russell Wilson thing went.
yeah, they got fleeced.
That was a total disaster.
Yeah, they got fleeced.
Yeah, he definitely robbed them for sure.
Yeah, he pretty much cost them at least a few years.
$100 million and 100 mil.
So
But I think the I think the biggest question marks for Bo Nix is going to be, can he transition?
yeah,
I mean, his
I mean,
time at Auburn, he had his ups and downs. He had his ups and downs. He played great. He played terrible. Then he went to Oregon and different conference, different, little, I wouldn't say lack of talent in the Pac 12, but definitely a different environment. And he got to shine there. I mean, he was cooking in Oregon. They were out there just blowing people out.
couldn't be Washington though.
But he was a Heisman runner himself. So I
Yeah,
think
no,
he
he
can
was.
do it. It's just him and Zach Wilson are just so alike. That ego, they just have that ego that they can't get over the hump. Because Zach Wilson came into the league for the Jets and was supposed to be an all-star. He sucks.
Well, and the Jets just whiffed on that one. They, it was a lot of guys who were better than him. So I
I
think they
think
just got to.
I think I think year one, I think Bo Nix is gonna have that Zach Wilson. It's gonna take some time for him to be comfortable. Like you said, they went and got in Troy Franklin, so that chemistry is there. They've played together in college. You know, are they gonna make that transition to the NFL that they had at Oregon?
I don't think they got enough to support him being the starter. I mean, your offensive line needs work. You talking about trade your best receiver. Yo, your starting running back can't stay healthy. It's just there's a lot of question marks for them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if Javonte Williams can stay healthy, that's a question mark. They did draft Audric Esteman from Notre Dame. They do have some P. Run. So I think the running back, they're in that middle tier. They just have a lot of people that get hurt all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim Patrick is one of them. He just can't stay healthy. Him and Javonte Williams just cannot stay healthy. Which, you know, it's a lot of mileage on them because they never really have a good quarterback. They haven't in a long time, so they're constantly wearing these guys into the ground.
That's an understatement.
Because what they did for Sean Payton for the draft picks to me didn't make any sense. I kind of understand why you went and got Russell Wilson. Yeah, he was a veteran. He's won the Super Bowl, and they gave him an ungodly amount of money, and it didn't pan out. And now you're upside down because you have no idea what's going on. I
Yeah, but
think I
I
think
think
I think
his
they're going to be a disaster. I
I
think
think that
Sean Payton's going to get fired.
well, nah, he won't now only because they pretty much blew up that whole team. Well, not the whole
Yeah,
team, but just taking Russell Wilson out, obviously. Because if you think about it, that second half of last season, they were actually playing good.
that's kind of what I thought they were going to keep Wilson because towards the end they won like five straight.
Yeah,
They were playing good, but people were healthy. Javante came back and was healthy. They were actually like playing good as a team. But yeah, I think the Broncos are just going to be an absolute disaster. They just have question
Yeah,
marks all over the place.
I don't know. They probably gonna be one of the worst. I'd say they'll probably be one of the worst five teams. Maybe
Oh, for
win like
sure.
3 games. Thinking three.
Yeah, they're probably going to be bottom of the pack because they're going to be. I mean, you never know. Like you said, Bo Nix may come out there and just be lighting people up left and right.
Yeah,
But I don't know. They just got, like you said, they got holes to fill. They trade Portland Sutton. They better hope they can get something for him because this wide receiver free agency, that about to be some money thrown around in it. Some big dollars that we've never seen before.
yeah.
I think we're fixing to see like a $200 million contract. But let's move on to the last team so we can wrap this up. The LA Chargers. Do you want me to take it from here?
You go ahead. I'll chime in.
The question mark for them, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. The whole AFC West, besides the whole AFC West, it's just kind of in shambles. I mean, they literally got rid of of everybody. I don't know what they're doing. They hit the reset button. That's what they're doing. Basically, they got rid of their whole offense. They got rid of their running back, Austin Eckler. They got rid of Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Gerald Everett. I don't know who Justin Herbert's going to throw the ball to.
It's only a matter of time before they trade him too.
See, I agree. And like I said last week with Josh Allen, I don't think Justin Herbert is that good. I think he is good stats wise, but he's just in a situation like everybody gets hurt all the time. So it's not all necessarily his fault. His team just isn't healthy at the same times. So yeah, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if they traded him. They got a new coach in Jim Harbaugh. You know, they brought in Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, which J.K. Dobbins, I think he's played one season since he got drafted, and every other season he just can't catch a break.
Yeah,
He tears his ACL next year. The next year he tears his Achilles. Gus Edwards is a good back.
yeah. He's pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. He was a pretty good complimentary back over in for the Ravens. So
But literally, their starting offense is probably going to be obviously Justin Herbert, J.K. Dobbins, and Gus Edwards. And then the wide receivers are just DJ Chark, Lad McConkey, and Quentin Johnston. They brought in Josh Palmer, or I mean, they already have Joshua Palmer.
I
So,
think
and they brought
Joshua
in Brendan
Palmer is
Rice.
probably one of the best bright spots for them. Because he was pretty good for them. Now, Brendan Rice, I think that's going to be a 50-50. He might take some time to actually get consistent reps, or he could just come in and have that chip on his shoulder. And I mean, he's a son of a
Because
legend.
they spent a pick on Quentin Johnston, and he just I know it's 1 year, but he
Oh, yeah, he was pretty bad.
didn't pan out like they thought he was going to.
Yeah. So I don't
But
know.
bringing in McConkey from Georgia, he's pretty good. So I think he's going to come in. I think he'll be fine. I think he's going to have that kind of Cooper Cup kind of role. I think that he's going to be, a slant kind of guy. I don't know if I think he'll probably be middle of the field kind of guy.
Yeah.
And DJ Chark, if he can stay healthy, he can. I think he can make I think he'll be good. He's one of them that can't stay healthy.
Yeah, that's been the bill on him since he came into the league. He just can't stay healthy.
They drafted Joe Alt, so that's going to help the offensive line. And then they loaded up on the defensive side.
Yeah, I mean the defense is one of the things that's definitely helped them out. Even last season, their defense was good. Their offense was just really bad, and guys were hurt. Justin Herbert, that he missed like the last 4 or 5 games of the season, so they
Yeah.
just were not in the best situation last year.
Which at that point it didn't really matter because they only won like 5 games.
Yeah,
I think they're going to trade him because, like you said, he's getting up there. So does he have time to rebuild? And they got to pay him too.
yeah. So it's a lot of factors that make it complicated trying to continue to build around him because you kind of already had a team built around him, and y'all made it to the
It didn't
playoffs
work.
once. Y'all blew a 20-point lead against the Jaguars, and since then, guys are hurt. Mike Williams stayed hurt. Keenan Williams got hurt a few times. Justin Herbert had his injury last season. I guess they just thought it was time to kind of make their moves because those guys were going to want money. That's the first thing.
Yeah. I thought Jim Harbaugh was going to take J.J. McCarthy.
Nah, I think he wants to keep Justin Herbert, but I mean, if the organization says, "Hey, we want to go in a different direction," ain't really nothing he can do about it.
Yeah, because he's about to get to that contract, and stats wise, he's up there with the rest of them. So it's going to be a hefty penny. I'll tell you that it's going to be about 250 probably at least.
Yeah,
But it's the question mark of what has he done? He hasn't really done anything. Like you say, been to the playoffs once
yeah. I mean, he got the
and got
stats.
our stats going to get you paid though. Look at the people that have been to the Super Bowl. They went and got tons of money.
Yeah,
So
but
he can't bring that argument to the table because
I think stats get you at least a decent amount of money though. Super Bowl gets you max money, but stats get you at least a decent extension.
yeah, I think they're going to pay him, but I would not be surprised if they trade him.
Yeah, I mean, they could just pay him so they can trade him. I mean, just it's like I said, a lot of different factors. It's a lot of the
If
teams.
that if they put him in the market, if I'm not and I'm the Las Vegas Raiders, I'm sliding him a blank check. What would it take for you to come?
Yeah, but I mean, if they're gonna try to trade for him, though, they're gonna have to give up some good stuff. Which I mean, it's worth it at that point as long as you're not giving up somebody who definitely impacts your team. So yeah, I agree. The Raiders were definitely there in the market for a quarterback for sure. Uh,
So yeah, I just think the AFC West is just one of those
out
divisions that
outside of the Chiefs, of course. I mean, the Chiefs
yeah,
are
outside of the Chiefs, yeah, because they're gonna everybody's gonna say, well, I don't know how good they're gonna be. They're probably gonna be fine.
yeah. So outside of
Um,
the Chiefs, everybody else just has a lot of different areas that they got to work on, improve, and just kind of
which
see.
Aiden O'Connell did not play bad, to be honest. I mean, they won.
Hmm.
They won 8 games. They were 8-9.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, he
They said
threw
they were
for
gonna roll with him. So I mean, if they're gonna roll with him, they obviously believe in him enough to give him the starting spot.
well.
So
I think Gardner Minshew will beat him out. I
see,
mean,
we'll just
Devontae still had almost 1,200 yards,
yeah, that's true.
but Aiden O'Connell did not play the whole year. He only
Yeah,
played 11 games. Jimmy G played 7,
yeah,
and Devontae still had almost 1,200 yards.
Yeah, I think it's just like I said, it's a lot of question marks outside of the Chiefs. Obviously, the only question mark for the Chiefs is can they three-peat?
That
Everybody
and
else,
who are they throwing the ball to?
everybody else, if they got a new quarterback, how can they bring him up? If they need a quarterback, what are you gonna do? Free agency, draft. If you need defensive players, if you need offensive linemen, we got
Because
free agency, we got draft.
I seen that they're paying they're going to redo Max Crosby's contract and pay him more.
I mean, they should though.
So yeah, he's a dominant pass rusher.
Facts.
Because looking at their schedule, it looks pretty rough. We'll see. There's only 3 preseason games, so maybe
Yeah,
they'll figure something out.
I mean, preseason isn't always the best indicator. I say about a quarter into the season, that's when you really gonna see kind of what everybody's looking like.
Because they open against the Chargers.
Yeah. See, now I got obviously the Chiefs run this division, and they've been running it for a little while now. So Chiefs are more than likely gonna win the division, and everybody else I think is just up for grabs. Uh, I'd probably say the Chargers have a more experienced quarterback, so I think they may finish second, maybe. And then obviously Raiders and Broncos can flip flop between 3 and 4 for me.
Because last year it was the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Chargers were last.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it'll pretty much be one is the same, and then 2 through 4 are gonna just reverse basically.
Yeah, I think they're
That's
just
for
going to be
me
all over
though.
the place.
So we'll see what happens with those. Grade wise, uh, Broncos, I will give them a B just because they got their quarterback. They addressed a couple of their needs, but they still have a lot of question marks.
Yeah. Uh,
Uh,
the Chargers, I'm gonna give them about a I'm gonna give them a C. They lost a lot. I think this is gonna be the make or break for Justin Herbert. If he comes in and they struggle, they're gonna trade him because at that point you're just wasting his time for nothing. Unless they pay him. If I'm him and they pay me, I don't care. Give me my money and we'll ride it out to the sun. We'll ride out in the sunset. Um, like you said, the Raiders. They're probably gonna be bottom because obviously the quarterback's the biggest question mark. Just got to figure that part out. And then, like you said, the Chiefs, you know what you're getting with them. I mean, they have Patrick Mahomes. They're going to be just fine unless they just come out and just suck. Because the
yeah,
pressure and all eyes are going to be on them. Are they going to
yeah,
three-peat?
they gonna get every team's best shot pretty much.
Oh yeah. And like you said earlier, what's the expiration date going to be for Travis Kelsey? I don't know the whole Taylor Swift thing. Him coming with Taylor Swift this year, fight the Chiefs. She was on TV more than the Chiefs were. Every time they did something, they'd pan the camera to her.
Yeah,
Say they tied the knot this year, whatever the case may be. He may retire at the end of the year. I know they extended him.
mm,
I don't think they're going to three-peat. I think that the NFC is too loaded for them to three-peat.
I don't think
And
they'll do it.
they got to get through Baltimore too, and they're in the AFC, so they got to get through Baltimore.
Man,
They got to get through the Bengals.
you just said last week that Baltimore was still not going to be able to take the Chiefs down because you
They
said
still
Lamar
got to beat
Jackson
them
is
though.
there. Ah, you pick a side. You can't flip flop. Don't do that.
Joe Burrow can beat them. He did. He already has.
Yeah, but you gotta beat the same guy twice. That's how tough that is.
He's got
So
to get through. They got to get through the New York Jets if Aaron Rodgers is healthy. They got to get through Baltimore. They got to get through Cincinnati. They got to get through Houston.
I mean that's not even necessarily saying all those teams are gonna work out like you think they will. Because that's also a factor.
It doesn't matter because Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals are winning the Super Bowl.
Uh, Not even. You wish though. That's cool.
This is his. This is his time. He
But
win an MVP and the Super Bowl.
who
But
are we
I'll
missing?
say I'll save that for the AFC.
Who are we missing grade wise? We're missing.
We
Who did
had
we
the
say
Chargers,
already?
the Broncos, the
Chargers,
Raiders, and the
Broncos.
Chiefs.
So we did Chargers and Broncos already. I say Chiefs. I'm gonna just give them a solid. Mm, I'm gonna give them a C, but that's just because they got a lot of.
They just
They
got a
had
lot of
some
drama going on over
departures.
there.
They traded some people out. They didn't really bring a bunch back in. Like y'all got a lot going on. It's just a C. I give them a C.
The AFC is going to be tough. That's a
Oh,
that's one of those
AFC is gonna
divisions
be
where
AFC is gonna be crazy.
there's some good teams in the AFC, especially if they can stay healthy. But that pretty much wraps it up, I think, for the AFC West.
Yeah, I think that might be all we have for y'all today with the AFC West. Um, Chiefs favorites to win the division. Can they three-peat? Feel free to chime in. Let us know what y'all think about some of the different divisions from this week. Or my bad, the AFC West, the teams in the division. Who y'all think is going to win? Who y'all think is going to stand out? Um, and again, it's the road to 100 subscribers. So like, share, comment. Most importantly, subscribe. We'll be back with y'all next week with whatever our next division is. So we are out of here.